As we have the opportunity to meet with key decision makers, much like yourself, who have the responsibility for influencing and maximizing company operations, one of the things we hear about most frequently is the challenges that you face within the tool and rental process. In fact, these three numbers tell a story about the need for improved visibility, accountability, as well as streamlining processes and operations, in addition to cost reduction and cost control. In a recent study done by Texas A&M, they found that 82% of customers agreed that an increase in rental utilization would also lead to an increase in operational ROI. However, in this same study, customers admitted that 46% don't track their rental utilization. Based on data that RSC's gathered over several years, we're finding that on average, transactions are out 24% of the time past the estimated return date. And this is for a duration of 15 days. So leaders like you share with us the equipment management and how it affects short-term and long-term strategies as it pertains to their organization. Here's another way to look at it. Utilization equals profit. Let's take a look at today's rental scenario and what that looks like. Today, you'll see there's decentralization. While necessary, decentralization can oftentimes hinder future performance and operational excellence in the field. There's also various systems that are in place in terms of tracking equipment, multiple employees that are tied to the rental process, multiple vendors that are involved to support your organization, as well as numerous crafts that need not only the right equipment, but they also need it at the right time. So what are the effects of today's rental scenario? Well, oftentimes you'll see that there's duplication and rental redundancies that are occurring where there's too much equipment out. As we mentioned before, there's things out past the estimated return date, reducing your rental savings that's taking place. Not to mention the various systems and just the overall excessive complexity that's making things too complex. So you may ask yourself, what are the results, Luke, of too much, too long, and too complex? Well, there's excessive spend that's taking place, and there's also excessive time. Not to mention your most precious asset, your employees, are limited with their productivity. And this is at best a fragmented, reactive rental process that, quite frankly, Mr. North Star, is putting your company at risk. The greatest risk, however, is not planning for the future with operational goals for your organization. Equipment management is the key component that can put your company at risk in these situations. Failure to move away from today's reactive process to that of one that meets operational excellence can be the greatest risk. So you may ask yourself, how are customers like us eliminating this risk? Well, they're often focusing on price. Did you know that price can only have 1/6, it's proven 1/6 the financial impact to that of too much, too long, and too complex? So today customers and companies like yourself are working with RSC to bridge the gap from what today looks like to the future. Only by working with RSC are they able to achieve their organizational goals. Let's take a look at a few of these. The first is improved visibility and accountability. What if your organization had insight into all steps that are taking place into their rental process? What if they had the ability to manage not only too much but too long? Well, the good news is that with RSC's industry-exclusive total control system, you can not only manage the too much and too long, but we also give you insight to what's happening at all times within your company. Here's another goal. Second one is streamlining operations and processes. What if your company had the dedicated account support to be able to improve productivity and streamline your operations as it pertains to the rental process. Well, the good news is that through RSC's managed services, we provide that dedicated account support to you. And you can also maximize your productivity with your people, which, as we said before, can be your greatest asset. Here's a third goal to look at. That is of cost reduction and cost control. What if your company had the ability to truly measure the overall success of your rental program? At RSC, we provide key performance indicators that not only allow you to benchmark yourself against other customers, but we can also provide quarterly and monthly reporting around cost reduction and cost control. Only by working with RSC are customers achieving these goals through what's called RSC's consumption management. While this may be an unfamiliar premises to you, this is somewhat of a new strategy, but I can tell you customers are achieving 6 times the amount of cost savings with this approach to that of price. So, by improving visibility and accountability with the right equipment at the right time, streamlining processes and operations, and cost reduction and cost control, this is the heart of consumption. Now, Mr. Northstar, if you want to align all aspects with your process and move away from this fragmented reactive process to that of a repeatable program that's proactive, then I got to tell you, your only path forward is to work with RSC. This is what best-in-class customers are doing. And by working with RSC, you and RSC can develop the best program with you for your organization. I want to share with you 3 more numbers. In a recent analysis done by a major oil and gas company, such as yourselves, one of the things they did was they identified a few CAT classes that they targeted. By targeting these CAT classes, they found that an increase in utilization of 35% led to a 28% reduction in spend for rentals. This occurred in just 3 months. Now, Mr. Northstar, I got to ask you, what do you think?